Welcome to this installment of the virtual conference. I'm super excited to be joined by Clemett today. How are you?
I'm awesome, thanks Jessica. It's wonderful to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited about your topic, which is authentic personal branding, well known, well paid and wanted. Now, Lauren is from the Ultimate Business Propeller. And Lauren, tell me, why is this topic so close to your heart?
Well, I think the reason I'm so passionate about personal branding, for a start, I've been in branding for many, many years. I've worked for lots of different advertising agencies, 25 years of brand management, but personal branding really gets me really motivated because I see so many amazing, especially business women who have incredible skills and talents, and they are trying all sorts of different ways to get their business and their services and their brand out there. And they're really struggling with trying to create a persona or trying to be the next Oprah Winfrey or the next Marie Forleo. And it's really vital that the only person you need to be really is yourself.
Right.
And in fact, it's really important, especially if you've got an established business, is that you don't try too hard to create a fake persona, create something that's not you. In the wide world, it's far more important that you're just the authentic you that you are, and you've got so many natural gifts and talents that the world needs. You just need to package them together into an authentic brand and get it out there. It's not hard, but it's just step by step, and I think so many people just get it wrong.
Right. And so that brings the question to me. Sometimes when I think about branding, I feel like it's something that's out there. I can't talk about it in tangible terms. Are you able to explain that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're quite right, Jessica. A lot of people say, well, hang on, isn't branding about products? And how can you brand a person? It doesn't make sense. For me, personal branding is understanding your true north. What's the real passion and purpose that you have? What's the number one thing that you want to be well known for, so that you don't end up doing what most entrepreneurs do, which is trying to be everything for everyone. And you end up with FOMO, that fear of missing out. And you end up looking desperate and you try to convince people, and it's not natural. Yeah. It's not in sync. It's not aligned with your purpose and passion and what you really want to achieve in the world and the impact you want to have. And it feels like a struggle instead of feeling natural and normal and I just want to help people. And that's a far better place to come from. But the difficulty being, as you said, Jessica, is there's so many different things out there. You've got to be on LinkedIn. You've got to be on YouTube. You should be doing webinars. You should be writing books, all this sort of stuff. And if you don't know what you want your brand to stand for, what your whole self-centered personal brand is, your purpose and your passion, you just end up doing what I call bright, shiny object-itis. Yeah. And it's just too hard. It's overwhelming. So personal branding to me is really deciding what's my true north. What do I want to be well-known, well-paid and wanted for? Because it's going to take time. And I guess this hard word really I give most people is it's going to take about 3 years to create a standout personal brand, to the point that a little bit like Oprah Winfrey and Marie Forleo, you're getting the media attention, you're getting people wanting to work with you, you're getting referrals without even knowing where they're coming from, you're getting people wanting you to write articles, to speak on stage, do all these sorts of things. It takes time. And if you're all over the place trying to be this and that and the other thing and trying to help every Mary in the dairy, you're going to end up going nowhere fast. So personal branding to me really does help guide you in that direction of your true north. It's not something that you just put a label on yourself. Yeah. That's the complete opposite. I mean, we talk about social media and how it's so easy to find out about people. So why bother being fake? Just be you. Yeah. So it's not about labeling yourself. It's more about finding that direction and that purpose and getting really clear on what is it I'm going to do to make sure that I'm well known as the expert in this particular niche, this particular field, so that when the media wants an expert or when somebody wants to refer someone, they choose you. And you don't have to convince them.
Yeah, I feel like you've just made that so simple by simply saying the one thing you want to be known for. That really, I really get that. And I feel like a lot of the ladies will too. So thank you so much for sharing that. So how do we do it? How do we start an authentic personal brand?
Yeah, it sounds easy, doesn't it? It took me 4 years. So I call it ironicide. You know, the plumber with the leaky tap, or the teacher whose kids have never got their homework done on time. It's ironic that they should do something with ease that they don't. And it is ironic that it took me 4 years to create my personal brand. And I got it wrong and all these sorts of. So I find it much easier to stand on the outside looking in with people's brands, which is awesome. I guess the first thing to think about is exactly what you just said before. What is it? There's the 3 R's of personal branding, I call it: reputation, recognition, and respect.
Right.
So you've really got to think about, what do you want your reputation in the marketplace to be? Jeff Bezos from Amazon says personal branding's what people say about you when you're not in the room. So what do you want people to say about you? Because word of mouth marketing is one of the best forms of advertising. It's free, it's third party endorsement, and it just goes on forever. It just trickles out to lots of different people. There's a big ripple effect with word of mouth marketing. But what do you want people to say about you in the marketplace? Are you the cheapest, or the funnest, or the safest, or the best, or the most experienced, or the quickest? So what reputation do you want to have in the marketplace for being the best at what you are doing? And what do you want to have that respect level for? Because I guess it's that if you don't have it clear, like you said, this is what I want to be well known for, this is what I want my personal brand to stand for, you end up with that FOMO. And I'm sure we've all met people at networking events and at business lunches and things, and they've given you a business card, and there's one business on one side and there's another business on the other. Yeah. And that icky, horrible, non-trusting feeling that you get about that person is that, you know, if they can't get you with that business, they're going to try and get you with that one. They're hedging their bets, you know, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel congruent, doesn't feel authentic. So much as it's interesting that the human brain and the entrepreneurial brain does have this bright, shiny objectitis, we do tend to want to take more risks as an entrepreneur than someone who's not an entrepreneur. And we do tend to be open to lots of opportunity. But if you go and try and do everything all at once, you're just going to get lost, and you're going to end up looking like that, you know, what's it called? One arm paper hanger, you know, the jack of all trades.
Right.
Specialist to none. Yeah. And we see it all the time. I see women who every 3 months decide, oh no, I'm going to be a wellness practitioner. Oh no, I'm going to be a life coach. Oh no, I'm going to go and do kite surfing. Oh no, I'm going to do media. Yeah. I'm going to do Facebook advertising for people. And it's just decide. Just decide, what is it that's at the heart and soul of your brand that you really love? What's the stuff you do with ease that other people find difficult? And what do you want your reputation in the marketplace to be? What do you want to be respected for, instantly recognized as the best, and have that respect level that people say, do you know what, if you want the best real estate agent for this particular type of property, or the best business coach for small boutique shops, or the best gym instructor or personal trainer if you're wanting to lose weight for women who are midlife or dealing with thyroid issues or whatever, if you can be as specific as you can about what you're the best at, you will find that you will naturally attract the right clients that you love working with.
Agreed, yeah.
So, and you don't have to do that sifting and sorting and convincing people, because there's people out there who want your services. They just haven't found you yet because you haven't got your message simple enough. You haven't got it concise enough. So that would be where I would suggest you start, is the 3 R's of personal branding: reputation, recognition, and respect. Right. And really sit down and take some time to think about what you want those things to be.
Okay, thank you for that. I was just thinking, as you were talking about, people who do have a couple of different arms in their business, and how would it work, or where would it work, and Virgin came to mind. So that they're a disruptor in an industry, but they can be in different industries, but they do have one brand over the top of it, don't they?
Absolutely, they do. And Richard Branson's personal brand comes through all of them. That sense of fun, like you say, pushing the envelope, challenging boundaries. He was known as Mr. Yes at one stage. I actually spoke to him when he was Mr. Yes. I rang and asked to speak to Richard at his office years ago, and they put me through. So, he would answer the phone when somebody asked for him. So yeah, his whole look, just go and do it, have fun, get out there, don't worry about, what people think of you, go and do it type thing. Yeah, it comes across in his airlines, his gyms, his, credit cards, everything that he does, even down to the way he helps entrepreneurs and Necker Island and all the other things he does to promote space travel and all these other things he's doing. His brand comes through all of that. So that's the way to do it, Jessica. You're absolutely spot on, is really centre on what makes you so passionate about what you do and what you stand for. And then everything you do comes as an umbrella under that. And I find this a lot with women who are working in the wellness industry, where they start off talking to me mostly by saying, I'm a Reiki practitioner, or I'm a masseuse, or I'm a remedial massage specialist, or I do astrology or whatever. And they tend to try to explain what they do based on the modalities that they use, rather than what's at their heart center. What are they really passionate about? What's the congruence? And then underneath all that is, I just happen to do Reiki or massage or astrology or nutrition or whatever. That's just the way that I do it. An example of that is the lovely Evelyn Douglas, who's here on the Gold Coast in Australia, and she used to call herself Aquarian Age Yoga, but she also did astrology and she did nutrition and she did these other things. And it was too limiting for her.
Yeah.
And we rebranded her, and she became the Karma Queen, which is quite cool.
What?
And her brand is actually QALMA, which sounds like karma, Karma. Everything comes around, goes around. And karma. Her idea is that you live a calmer life. And she is. We call her Lady Evelyn. She's just this really relaxed, calm, beautiful spirit. And she walks in the room and everybody, she's like Lady Di walking in. She's just beautiful and calm and is a wonderful influence on a room. But she's the Karma Queen, and she can help you lead a calmer life through all these things that she knows about: nutrition, astrology, yoga, looking after yourself, and so on. So those are just the modalities. That's not what her brand is. So that's an example of exactly that Richard Branson effect, that you can have one brand that stands for what you really are as a person, your authentic brand, what you stand for, your passion and your purpose, and then all of the things you do follow on underneath that. And you can add to that be as creative as you like with how you deliver your services.
Yeah.
But just keep your brand focused.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Jessica, when you do that as well, you end up getting really clear on what is right for your business. And I think this is probably the reason why I'm so passionate about what I do, is I see so many, especially small businesses out there, who end up doing what I call WOFTAM marketing. I don't know if you've heard of WOFTAM before. No? WOFTAM. And I know this is a family-friendly show, so I won't do the R-rated version of WOFTAM, but WOFTAM is
I understand.
a waste of flipping time and money. Yeah. So I see a lot of businesses, especially when there's so many different channels that you can use. There's podcasting and there's blogging and there's all the stuff you could be doing, and they waste so much time and money because they're trying to do different things constantly rather than having a brand first. Get really clear on your brand, and then you'll know, should I be on LinkedIn? Should I be going? And a lot of my clients even choose the networking events that they go to based on their personal brand. Mm-hmm. And it just, if it's not right, doesn't feel right, they don't go.
Yeah.
And they just go and they just put the effort and the time and the investment into stuff they know is right for their brand.
I was going to ask earlier, but you sort of just answered it, that what do we do on social media? But it's essentially, it's just a tool of getting your brand out there versus creating the brand so much. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely spot on. And I guess you get lots of people coming to you and saying, hey, I need my social media looked after. I need my reputation online to be looked after. How do I get this going? How do I get my online business going? And your first question is, well, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
And people go, I don't know. I just need to get out there.
Yeah. I just know I need to have Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great thing to start with. So it is, you're right. It's at the moment, it's very much like trying to drink from a fire hydrant at the moment. There is so much content out there. And if content is king, then engagement is the queen of hearts.
Yeah.
So you're quite right. When you know exactly what it is you want your brand to stand out for and what you want to be known for, it makes it so much easier to just have one blog a month that talks about a topic or a theme that you know is going to engage, whether that's because it's newsworthy or because it comes from the heart or there's a brilliant case study you've got or it's something you truly believe in, and then repurpose that during the month to make sure that you're telling the same story in a different way to engage people throughout that month, rather than trying to come up with different ways constantly. Oh, now I've got a podcast, now I've got YouTube going. It's just like, no, just choose one or two and just tell the same brand story, the same messaging with different stories that engage. And it's funny, I do it naturally, and it is something that is an expert ease for me. It's something I do with ease that other people find difficult. I can find a personal branding story in just about any situation. So I was walking through shopping centre the other day, and I noticed Victoria's Secret store with all their beautiful models and their amazing lingerie and everything else. And the thing I noticed was that their shopping bags in Victoria's Secret that you can take around the store with you and put things in are see-through.
They are, yeah.
They're transparent, yeah. Now, how cool is that? Why would you not, as Victoria's Secret, have a beautiful lingerie-looking shopping bag?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes so much sense, doesn't it? So just even those little things, there's a personal branding lesson.
Right.
So I guess with social media, when it comes to your personal brand, is how can you flip something? How can you look at, for example, you know, something that's just happened in the marketplace, be that Mother's Day or Christmas or the Oscars that were just on the other day or whatever it is. How can you look at that and go, what's the message in this that I could be sharing with my audience that fits with my brand?
Right.
So, for example, if it was social media as your business and you've got the Oscars that just came up, they did some really cool social media stuff around the Oscars. And what did the stars do? And how did they get themselves out there? And what happened on Instagram? And who was the best and worst dressed? All these sorts of things. And that would get, hey, how could you leverage this?
Right.
To get a following. Or if you were in fashion, you'd have that. If you were in health, you might talk about how healthy some of the stars looked. They weren't all skinny, or, you know, you could flip anything to be an engaging message about your personal brand.
That makes sense. So if I'm hearing it right, it's about taking something that is current and being able to tie it back to your personal brand story. So the one thing that you want to be known for.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you can figure that out, I talk about having a one-word brand strategy, and there's a little bit of work that you have to do to get there, but it's worth doing it. What's the one word? So for example, at the heart of Apple's business is imagination and innovation. Right. So their one word is imagine. Mm-hmm. It's been imagined for many, many years. And Steve Jobs talked about, imagine what you could do if you had a laptop that you could open up and all these things would be on it, or a phone that you could have all these things. You could do it, make movies on it, create music on it. Imagine. Yeah. So their one word's imagine. So all of their marketing and branding was always about, you know, challenging the norm, you know, getting innovative, doing amazing things. Their first ads, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC, were all about just open it up and go for it, you know. So what's your one word? If you can figure out your one word, mine's orientation. Okay. And the reason for that is that, and it's a good tip actually, if you're not sure what your one word is, ask clients. Go and ask your clients, what was it that I did for you? Right. And they will give you your one word. Now, a lot of the time when I ask my clients what it was, clarity, direction. Now I know where I'm going. Now I know what to do. I've got momentum to go ahead and do this. So it's all about orientation. And I learned how to use maps and compasses when I was a kid doing orienteering. And, you know, I talk about a compass being your brand. That's what keeps you on your true north, is your brand. And your map is your marketing action plan. So that outlines where all your clients are, where your competition is, what channels you can use, how you're going to reach people. It's all mapped out for you. So on their own, a compass on its own or a map on their own are completely useless if you're lost in business and don't know what you're doing. But if you put them together, like you do if you're doing orienteering, within minutes, you'll know exactly where you're going, where you are, and what your direction is. So you need both. You need a brand, a compass to keep you on true north, and you need a marketing action plan, a map to show you where to go. So if you can get those two things right with your one word, it makes it really easy to go, okay, so what are the news events that are coming up that I could talk about in my social media, in my blogs, in my podcast, in my webinars, whatever it is you're doing, that makes sense for my brand.
That's awesome. Thank you. There's so much gold in there. Thank you so much for sharing.
Cool. You're welcome.
You have a freebie for everyone today.
I do. And it's interesting. The thing I talked about mostly today was getting clear, getting really 100% clear on what it is you want to be known for. And I've recorded a series of videos, and it's called The Brand Magnet. And it's all about how can you naturally attract the right people to your business. rather than doing what most people do. And there's a really big mistake people make in the marketplace that actually repels people from your business. And the video series goes through that and shows you how to avoid that. But also it talks about how do you naturally become attractive to the right people so that you're not wasting your time trying to convince people. You're not attracting the wrong customers who either don't want to pay you, or they don't value you, or they actually don't feel like they need or want you. You just want to attract the people who already want what you're offering. They just haven't found you yet. So it's called Brand Magnet.
Awesome.
And the first video on that series is free. Go and watch it. There's some really cool tips in there that you can implement straight away into your business and to your social media and your website and things like that. And there's a download as well that you can get with that. And you can read through the transcript and really apply those things that you learn. I'm all about taking action, Jessica. I'm not about learning stuff and reading books. And, I've got lots of books in my bookshelf, but seriously, just take action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done.
Totally agreed. Imperfect action is way better than perfect thinking.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much. You can get that freebie if you click the link below. Lauren, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you've shared so much gold with us.
You're very welcome. We could talk for hours, I'm sure, Jessica. But it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you today. I hope it's been helpful for people. So make the most of it.
Thank you.
Cool.